A key thing that we were asking is why are these women unhappy? And I think the feminine women are happy, and I think the women who are unhappy are the masculine women, the women who have fell for feminism, and the women who are too far left. They're too liberal in their views. Like Tracy Ellis Ross, she was saying how when she goes on dates, men who don't agree with, men who don't agree with homosexuality or the trans movement, she doesn't like those type of men. And who are conscious and understand what's going on in the Black community don't agree with that type of stuff. So a woman like her will be unhappy. The women who can't just sit back and let their man lead are unhappy. Michelle Obama, she's unhappy. She has to have a podcast now and be out in the forefront, even though her husband is the first Black male president of the United States of American history. We didn't see Coretta Scott King out talking. We didn't see Betty Shabazz out talking. Why does Michelle Obama feel the need to have a podcast where she needs to speak? Her legacy is in her feminine energy and her being seen, not heard. We don't need to hear from her. Her power is in the fact that she allowed that man to be successful and be America's first Black president while she took care of their two children. That's her legacy. Why does she feel the need to do other things now and be outspoken and say that she hated or she didn't get along with her husband for 5 to 10 years? We don't need to hear that from her. Black women who fell for the feminist movement, started by Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Stanton, those are the unhappy women. They're miserable. That was a white woman's fight with their white man. Black men had nothing to do with that, and they fell for it, and now they're arguing over rights and things that it's a fake argument. They're not being oppressed. That was a white woman's argument. Black women had nothing to do with it. The women who fell for that, they're miserable. It was started by lesbians and women who really hated men. One of the founders of the National Black Feminist Organization in 1973 was a Black lesbian named Margaret Sloan, and she literally was a lesbian who wasn't even attracted to men. And so she pushed the agenda that women don't need men, and women ate it up, and those are the miserable women. So these are the ones who are miserable, and that's the ideology we need to stay away from.
Question is rolling at the bottom. Was Tory Lanez a victim of the system or his own dick?
Both.
Both.
I like the way you put that.
He was a victim of both.
I would like Didi and Doctor to intervene, please. Go ahead.
He was a victim of both, but firstly came, him following his, dick instead of, using his thing.
Yeah.
Meg Thee Stallion, she has her music is, she promotes promiscuity. She got a song, There's Some Hoes in This House, and, WAP and wet ass. She's following behind that type of woman brings a certain type of energy. Had he been following around a woman like a Coretta, a Betty Shabazz, or a different type of woman historically, Rosa Parks, or someone who presents themselves like an actual woman with woman traits and characteristics, that energy would have never been invited into his life. He would never have been around the drugs, the alcohol, the weapons, and everything that surrounded that night. So the whole situation wouldn't even have occurred if he wasn't around those type of females.
Who you think is a good woman do you think Halle Bailey is a good woman in the industry?
No, I don't. You can't name a celebrity female right now that I would think is a good woman.
What is a good woman?
Who's a good one? Beyonce, because she stays out of the scene. She don't even do interviews. She do her little things and then she'd be quiet.
Family,
how do you identify a good woman?
How she carries herself, how she dresses, how she speaks, her ideology, her traits, her feminine traits. A good woman is able to keep quiet. A good woman lets a man lead. That's the way we identify a good woman. It's very important, and what I preach, what I talk about is having the Black nuclear family with the Black man, Black woman, and Black child. But it's very important the type of Black man and the type of Black woman that we have in that household. A Black man being present is not enough if he's not masculine, and a Black woman being present is not enough if she's not feminine. Dwayne Wade is in his child's life, and you see what he's doing because he's not in his masculine energy and he's not in any divine energy. He's just leading his child astray, and he's leading his son in a manner as to which would be detrimental to the Black community. So I think everything we have to do has to be rooted in fact. I don't think, well, we know that Black male emasculation is not okay. So how can anyone champion a father who's supporting the emasculation of his son? So if he knew better, he would do better. But some people have gone so far that they have allowed all of these agendas to manipulate them, and it's destroying the Black community. I always say that the Black community is not a monolith, and we're not. But in certain things, we need to be monolithic about. There are certain things that we all need to be on the same accord about if we want to progress. The things that we are seeing in the Black community now, to add on to what Uncle Rick said, what we're witnessing is that the Black woman has strayed further away from the traditional role than the Black man has, and that's the main problem here that we're seeing with these delusional expectations on the dating market. But men have to put their foot down when dating, because I have a woman now, but up until about 4 or 5 months ago, I was single. I was still on the dating market and figuring that aspect out. But I steadfast to what I believe in, and I put my foot down, and I didn't try to, change the way I carry myself in order for her to like me. The right one for you is going to like you for you. You don't have to change, who you are. The right feminine woman is going to like your masculine energy, and she's going to allow you to lead. A lot of time these days, people are changing who they are and to just fit in with someone and just to avoid being single. The right person for you is going to be for you.
Yeah.
Men gotta stop. Some men gotta stop smashing anything, because that's part of the problem too. The men who will smash any old woman that's out here, they give them a false sense of confidence, and they make them think that the way they look or the way they act is acceptable because they can still get a man that'll smash them. They got men in their DMs, even though their Instagram is unpresentable. They got a whole bunch of naked photos, or they leaving nothing to the imagination, and they're carrying themselves like a hoochie, but their DMs is filled up, so they think that they're still a catch when they're not. So that part of the discipline, men need discipline with that too, to stop giving these women a false idea, because it just increases the delusion. The woman is 250 pounds. She got 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, but men still hollering at her, or men still smashing her. So she thinks that she's still a catch, and that that's okay, and that she can get any type of man she wants. So now she has this delusional expectation that, oh, I need a man who's 6'5", makes 150,000 a year, and she really thinks she can get that just because that type of man will smash her. But she doesn't realize that that type of man won't wife her.